I'm going to do this with you one more time, and then not again for a very long time, because this part of doing nails to me is the boring and tedious part. Even though it's not that tedious, it just feels that way to me. But in order to get a good nail, you need a good foundation. So I won't be doing the peel off base coat on my nails this time. I'm going to be using the Novo Ovo. This is not sponsored. I just really like these nails. And I have a big wide thumbnail. You see that? And their size 1 fits it comfortably, not tight. So they're just really good. And they have a 0. The 0 actually is too big, believe it or not. And for women who have club thumbs, I think this 0 would be great for them. I really do. Which then makes my middle finger a 2. It's always one size smaller. And then I believe my pointer is a 4. 3, 4. My pointer and my ring finger, actually. So let's see, I think it's a 4. Yep, it fits that one and that one. Yeah, my pointer and ring fingers are the same on both hands. Because some people, you know, they have variance between hands. I don't. Let's see. I believe this is a 9. And a 9 for my pinky. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, I love these tips. You need to get these tips. I mean, it even tells you that they're extra thick on the website. And I don't know what that says up in the corner. Maybe you can make it bigger on your screen and see what it says. But yes, love Novo Ovo. Never had them before. This is the first box of tips I ever bought from them. And they got me. So from now on, that will be the tips that I buy. Other than, you know, if I just want a full cover one. I mean, they make those too, but the sculpted ones, the Tip-X Lights by Beetles, I use those. Because the 0 actually fits my thumb. So, I gotta do all my prep for my nails, which is buff, dehydrate. Well, I've already buffed them. So dehydrate, primer, and base coat. And the base coat is what I'll be sticking the tips on with. So I'm gonna get all that stuff together and then we'll start that. Before we start doing any of that, this was a free gift in one of Lisette's Gel Nails Pro when I ordered, because she ordered a color and didn't like the way this one turned out, so rather than throw them, she gave them to her customers, which is really nice. And she put the sticker over it. I don't know what color it's supposed to be. I would like to know which one it was supposed to be. Just like she asked for a purple in her her blossom or garden set. It's all related to flowers. She didn't like how dark the first purple turned out, so even when she got the light one, she added that purple in with all the kits, so you got a light and a dark purple rather than her throwing it away, which a lot of companies won't do that. They'll just throw it away. So I'd like to see what this color looks like. I'm just curious. Oh, it's peachy. That's pretty. That is a pretty peach color. Open it the rest of the way. Get my tweezers so I don't lose that in there. Wipe it off. I like to open my gels this way now because when it gets hot, some gel pods will leak up over the side. Oh, that has a pearl hue to it. Wait a minute now. I was going to use the peony, but this has a iridescent pink to it. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it on there better? Uh-oh, I think we might have to try this. That's what it's looking like. Let me clean this all up and come back. I was gonna use this color, the very soft pink, but I think I'm actually gonna use this one. And then I was gonna do an encapsulated nail as well. I think this is what we'll use, these dang on gnats. So we'll prep to use that. And yes, I still want to know what color this was supposed to be, because the one she settled on might be just as pretty, and I'd like to know what it is. Oh, she is one of those good stickers that don't want to let go. Oh well. I'll scrape it off there one day, or just ask her what it was supposed to be, so I can come back and get the newest one of it, the one she meant for it to look like. I love a good iridescence in my nails where you least suspect it. That's why I like her Blossom gel so much. It's a peachy color too. It's just more towards the orange side rather than pink like this one. And it's got like this gold shimmer in it. And yes, I double dehydrate. I do believe it helps. So I always start with my non-dominant hand because it's the hardest for me. And I use her dehydrator. That's dehydrator, and I use Young Nails Protein Bond. I try not to go overboard with the protein bond because too much can cause the opposite effect. I do try to make sure I get around the edges real well. If it looks dry, I haven't gotten to those edges. I'm wiping this off on the side of the bottle thoroughly on my way out of the bottle. It's like I said, I don't want a bunch of it on my nail. Some people feel like doubling up helps. I don't. I'm only doing one hand at a time. And the base gel we're using, that's right, you guessed it, Beetles. Usually I use her rubber base, but I left it somewhere where it got partially cured, so I can't. But the Beetles foundation gel works good too, to keep it on there. I don't have any other rubber based gels. So I've got my flash cure lamp right here. Cut that on. It's motion detected, you know, censored, so I just stick my finger under it and it'll cure it. We're gonna start with our pinky, and I'm gonna put it on the whole nail. I'm going to take this pinky nail tip, and I'm just going to lay it right on top of that. Make sure it's straight and flash cure it. Yep, that's straight. And I'm just going to proceed to do that with every last one of them. I'm putting a decent amount of base gel towards the tip, like halfway through in the tip, so that these have something to grab onto for the sides. You can see it when it fills up. Yeah. So I'm gonna finish this and be back. All right, got all my tips on. I'm going to go over this with the same base coat again and cure that to make sure that my hard gel sticks to the nail tips, because I've had problems with that in the past. And somebody told me if you do this or you use a rubber base gel that you won't have the separation problem. So I'm gonna choose to believe them since it's been working for me. I mean, the only other alternative is to use nail forms. And while I do know how to use a nail form, I don't like to if I don't have to. I find this easier. And I also find a lot less shaping with this way. Do the dual forms, not dual forms, but the, you know, the regular forms, the paper ones. You've got a lot of shaping to get your shape and everything. It's a lot of filing, which I prefer not to do. So I'm gonna finish this and I'll come back. Okay, got the base coat all over all of it. Now I'm going to clean it off with some alcohol because they are very sticky. It is base coat after all. I'm just trying to give it as even a surface as I can without having to file into that V, because that V really gives it a lot of stability, and I don't want to take any of it away if I don't have to. I know you're supposed to be blending it in, but me personally, I'm going to try it this way and hope it doesn't show through in the things that I'm doing, because there's one thing I've learned about doing my own nails. When there's imperfection, you can always just paint over it. So, not that big a deal for me. All right. Now, don't worry about that white. That's where the alcohol hit the underside of the nail. It can be scraped out, cleaned out with soap and water. I was thinking of doing the ring fingers as the encapsulated glitter ones, and then just the rest of the nails all that one color. So I'm not gonna do anything but file up the sides and stuff and the shape before I put on the hard gel. Just makes it a little bit easier for me, because after all, I am the one doing them, so I would want them to be made easier for me. So I'm just gonna see, I got some base gel overage here. That's fine. Just come along the side and file it off. And I've got 2 coats of it, so my nail is well protected. Now, I don't like the super stabby tips, so I round my tips. I don't want to stab my animals in the eye, or myself for that matter. So it's still sharpish, but it's more rounded than to a point. See what I mean? It's more rounded. And I'm just going to do that to all the nails, because I'm sure there's more than just that spillage. And I got to get the tips of them before I put my hard gel on, because I don't want to have to round that out later. I mean, I'm still going to have to do some shaping filing after, but I don't want to have a lot more to do than I need to. More product to file off than need be. I'll just go ahead and do this to all of my nails, and then I'll come back when I'm done with the shaping. As you can see, they're more rounded. The sides are tucked in better. And let's just hope that V doesn't show up. No way to tell until I do it. Oh. Now I've got to get my gel brush and a liner brush and a cleanup brush. Gel liner cleanup. Gel liner. Oh, cleaner, sorry. And a liner. Get me a dental bib so I don't get any gel on my mat here. Even though it can be cleaned, why bother when you can just hit the paper? Oh, you know what? I got my fan going. That ain't gonna work out. Oh well, I guess we'll be cleaning this mat today. That's fine. It is a-okay. Gotta have the fan running. My big dog's in here and it's thunder and lightning and he's scared of all that. So, I want to start out with this, but I need to find the glitter I'm going to use. It's going to be 2 different glitters. It's not in that one or that one. I have a lot of glitter. A lot of glitter. 6 things of this worth of glitter. And I believe this is the one I'm wanting. I don't see, there's a peachy color, but I don't think it's the same peachy color. We're gonna have to match this color as well. Oh yeah, that'll work. And then I need some pink to match that iridescent in there. And I happen to have that too, but you know what? Yeah, we'll mix it together. It'll look good. Okay. We're gonna start with my left hand, which is the hardest hand for me, and that's why I do it first. So I'm gonna start with the encapsulated nail first. So that is where my clear comes in. This is the only hard gel that I use. I have tried plenty of others. Do not like them. we need to mix this up in something now, don't we? Just a second. Mix it up in here, and I want more orange, more peach than pink, obviously. And get our little spoon. Get our glitters. I think that should be enough for both hands. Now we're going to take this darker pink, get a little bit of it, and a touch of the light pink. And that's what we want. I'm going to take the lid that comes with this, put it on there, and hope it doesn't shake everywhere. Perfect. Although it does look a little more pink than peach, it's still going to do what I need it to do. I might need a little more of the peach, to be honest. And I've got to shake it up again. I mean, just that's going to be a permanent design for this hand, because from now on when I design a hand, you know, you usually do 5 fingers. The only time I'll do 10 with you is when I'm redoing my nails. Any design that viewers pick or that I do will be just on my left hand. And I'll be using that peel off base coat method that I did on my last video, so that I don't have to keep redoing the entire nails. And that's pretty. That will work just fine. More peach than pink, just what I wanted. And I also have a glitter thing. I have 2 of them actually, but that's so I can keep catching the glitter and using it. So we're doing this one first. Let me wipe with alcohol again. Because I like to get mine encapsulated over with, because they take a little longer. Got my gel brush here. I always keep gel in it, but it gets rather stiff even though it has a cap. So I come through and help it out a little bit. And it's still stiff. It's okay, we'll help it out a little further. This is brush cleaner. I reuse mine until I just can't no more. And this stuff does evaporate over time, so you want to keep it in a sealed container. And it's got a rubber ring on it, so the only time it's evaporating is while I'm using it. You don't want this stuff to hit anything acrylic. It will ruin it. I mean, even if it's left over on your finger. I ruined something of mine with that. It left my thumbprint in it. This stuff does not play. I mean, that's what it's made for, to eat through the acrylic to clean out your brush. But it does not play. So You don't want to get it on your acrylic nails or anything acrylic. Hey, Apples. My kitty cat. Now let's zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just getting a little on my brush, or at least I thought I was. And I'm going to coat the entire nail with a thin layer of this gel. This is what we're going to stick the glitter to. And I'm going extra slow because this is my dominant hand that I'm working on, which doesn't work well for me. So I have to go even slower. Now let's pour us some glitter. Turn the nail and keep pouring. Turn the other way. Yes, you can do this with glitter polish, but the colors aren't going to be, you know, mixed like this for you. It's not going to look the same. That's why I opt for glitter every once in a while. I backed away from glitter a long time because, you know, glitter, once you use it, it's every freaking where for weeks. And now I'm gonna pat it all down. You probably shouldn't use your bare finger because you'll get gel on yourself, but I'm doing it. And you're not gonna get every piece flat, and that's fine. But get what you can. Missed a spot right there. Now I'm going to cure this, and then I'm going to go over it with a second coat of hard gel and glitter. 60 seconds. Okay, now you want to use a stiff brush to brush it off, so that way you get the ones that aren't really stuck on there. And the soft one's just going to go over it. You don't want this in your gel anyways. Yeah, you could fish it out, but who wants to do all that? Now see, when I hold this up to the light, I can still see through the nail, but I don't want to. So I will go in with that second coat. I want to make sure that I get the tip very well, because that's the part I can see through. Now see, I still got glitter on my brush, and that won't do. So I don't want it in my gel. So last of the clear I gotta get some more. I'm not super worried about the part that's over my natural nail bed because you can't see through that. But you can definitely see through the tip. So that's what we're trying to take care of. Now I could have done this with base coat, but I wanted my nail to be sturdier. So I opted for the hard gel. Now, just going to do the same thing again. This time I'm going to start at the tip. Oops. Go in and pull out the bottom tray. Turn it to the side. Hit the side again. That fan is not helping. I feel like I have more control with the yellow thing, the rhinestone thing. I'm gonna push it down again. There's a piece of lint right there. Okay, we're going to cure this for another 60 seconds. And I'm just going to leave that in this glitter tray thing for when I get to my right hand. It'll be ready to go. I might dump it back in the yellow thing to have better control though. I'll brush it off again, and then this time will be the encapsulated part where it'll be the top of the nail. So you're going to need a big glob of hard gel for that. And that's okay. That'll work. Just dust her off again. And I am being rough because I want to get all the particles that I can that aren't really stuck. The big bump right there. Some hard gel. There's still a missing part right there. I'm not liking that. Oh, it's on both sides. Don't know how I did that. But I know how to fix it. And that's all that really matters, isn't it? We are going to add just a little bit of hard gel to those two sides. You see where it's missing right there? Just a little. That's all we want it to stick to. And this side the same way. Don't know why those two spots, but that's what we ended up with. We're not doing this twice either. It's just going to be a thin part of the nail as far as glitter goes. And that's alright. It is what it is. Okay. Now this side. go in and cure it for another 60 seconds. And push them up. Not hanging off the edge. It'll be a little loud, but this is how I clean up the majority of glitter on my desk. Is my little desktop vacuum. And whatever will come up, that's how I clean up most of it. And this is a latex mat, so a lot of it is stuck to this mat. So that's why I have to use the nozzle, it's more concentrated. That's enough for now, because we're gonna get it glittery again. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and try to encapsulate this. Well, not try, I'm going to. We're doing that with clear, a big glob of clear. You will be able to see me put it on, but you won't be able to see what I'm doing when I'm turning it upside down. Basically what I'm doing when it's upside down is, let's pretend this is upside down. When the gel's on here, I'm directing it to the apex and where I want the gel to be. Because when you turn it upside down, gravity brings it to the center of the nail, and I'm just helping it along. So you won't be able to see that part, but you can see me put it on. I try to, first I want to put on a slip layer. But with this nail, I don't think that's going to be a possibility, because the glitter. So I'm just going to put on a big glob of gel and direct it where I want it. Excuse me. You can only pick up so much with this brush. So to avoid bubbles, there's a certain way that you should place this and run it down the nail. Unfortunately, with this nail, that's going to be a little harder to do, so I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm just going to try and get the gel where I need it. Let me try a slip layer, because this gel isn't moving. I don't know if this is going to be a actual slip layer or not, honestly. There's just so much friction. I don't know how it could be. But you never know, it might work. Get this glitter off my brush before I dip it back in there. Now let's try it. Now it's got a layer. Let's see if we can get it to do what we want it to. You hold your nail like this, if this works. You go side to side, all the way up, all the way down. Just looping like a semicircle or a half a U shape all the way down the nail. And this is the best way to prevent a bunch of bubbles, because bubbles in your nail makes them weaker. You know, like anything that has air in it will be weaker. So you definitely want to avoid bubbles if you can. And yes, apparently the slip layer does work, even on the glitter, so that's a good thing. I'm trying to make sure I got it all the way down the sides. which this is a big no-no. See, I can't look at it all because I'm trying to show you what I'm doing. And you see, like when I had it turned this way, how it's globbed over here? Well, now I gotta turn it upside down. This is the part that you won't be able to see what I'm doing. And this nail is definitely gonna be a lot bulkier than the rest because of all the layers and things we had to do to it and the extra hard gel I had to put on it to encapsulate it. But we'll be filing that down, so it's not a big deal. But look at that. Oh, all the faucets you get from the different type of glitter that it is and the different colors. You can't tell me that that looks like your average glitter polish. So now we'll move on to the regular hard gel that I have here. You know, the one we're not going to use for encapsulating. Just this color itself is what we'll be putting on there. And no, this is a builder gel, so I don't have to encapsulate it. I can just use all this color. It will cure. So first thing I'm gonna do is get me a little bit for a slip layer. I'm just gonna brush it on there where I want the gel to be. Yes, this is a pretty color. Very pretty. I don't know why she didn't want this one. It's very pretty. Now I wish I'd have ordered twice to get a second jar of it. Well, maybe she still got some when I order my clear gel and my base coat. Now I get me a bigger glob. It's so easy to put bubbles in your hard gel. So you just want to do everything slow and gentle, basically. You don't want to whip it around, stir it, and that kind of stuff, because you'll end up with bubbles. I always end up with bubbles no matter what I do. Yes, this is a very pretty color. And that pink shimmer that's in it, it's very hard to detect, but I bet you in the sun you can see it really well. See, there's a bubble right there just from picking it up. The warmer your hard gels, the runnier they are. I like to keep mine around 74, 76 degrees. That works for me, and that's what we keep our house at, so it works out. If ever it's a day that, I don't know, say the power's out and it's too hot, I won't even pick it up because it'll just run like water. And I suppose that's true for all gel products, not just hard gel. All right, now this is the point where I want to tip it upside down. But I also want to make sure I got the cuticle, which seems to be lacking some. So I'll dip my liner brush in there and I'll come up by the cuticle. When you're putting your slip layer down, you don't want to come up by the cuticle because it will cause your cuticles to overflow easier. So just take your liner brush and get the parts that were missed, like this side over here. And thank goodness where I didn't get rid of that V in the press on, it's not showing even when I hold it up to the light. I'm turning it upside down right now and directing the gel with my liner brush. You want to look at it from all angles and make sure that it's even in where you've where you've directed it, because sometimes it can be one-sided if you're not holding your hand exactly even. And then, if it gets too far, you just hold your finger like this. It'll level out, and then you just flip it again to get your apex. There's a little hump there that I don't like, so sorry about that. All I have to do is direct the gel to where it is. This basically levels out for you to where you have to do barely any filing, and I mean barely. Come on, level out. There we go. Oh, not the side right there. I gotta do the apex again. But it's just a back and forth game. So when I finish with all these, I'll come back. Alright, I've got all my hard gel on. Now it's time to file them. And these are going to be a lot of filing. So I got my dust collector out. These won't be so much filing as they will be as just shaping mainly. These, you see how bulky they are in comparison. They need to be knocked down some. The rest of them are fine, but these too thick because all the layers. So I'm gonna file them down and get them close to these, and then I guess I'll be back after that. This is mainly just a shaping and filing situation. I use a 80/80 grit when I'm filing nail products, not my real nails. Alright. Alright, all filed and buffed and ready for whatever design comes next. I don't know what that is. I've sealed the cuticles, I've done the 9. Don't know what I'm going to do though. So until then, enjoy this little, oh, it's still wet there from the alcohol. Oh, that one's a little crooked. Guess I'm not done. Let's go ahead and straighten that out. Are there any more crooked ones? Oh, that was a little crooked. By crooked, I mean like a lump. Okay. That one. Really, to these plain nails, other than sealing the cuticles, I really just buffed them because they don't require too much. They really don't. Because they're already smooth. because the gel used gravity. Every once in a while you'll find one like this that needs a little shaping, but other than that, it's okay. And they are done. Now all I would have to do is put top coat on these, which I'm going to put top coat on these glittered ones because I don't plan on putting anything on those. I just haven't figured out which design is going on the other ones. But that's it for this video. The next video will be me decorating. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for coming by to visit with me, share some time. I hope you have a wonderful day, month, week, night, year. And starting next Wednesday, I'm going to start a series from a subscriber's suggestion of around the world. And each Wednesday, I will do a design on this hand from another place around the world until I get tired of doing that. So, next Wednesday, I'll start that series. But thank you for coming. Bye, my little hotties.